Today, as the First Nation people who've had a lot of silence over years, residential school days are past. We're not going to be quiet no more. First Nation people are standing up with all Canadians. We're going to practice our ceremonies. We're going to make sure that the next 7 generations, it has the same benefits that we do today and even better. We're going to make this world cleaner.
So today we are rallied here to say no to Enbridge Line 9, a pipeline that wants to carry a dangerous and poisonous heavy crude from Alberta tar sands known as diluted bitumen. Line 9 project runs through several ecosystems in 18 First Nations communities, towns, and farmlands. As we now have been witnessing the detrimental effects the tar sands has imposed on First Nations communities who reside by the tar sands, such as the Athabasca Chippewa First Nation, who are suffering from disease and cancer due to the poisons that are released into the air and water, as well as the animals who are suffering from contamination, and all the plants and trees, everything there is suffering. Why would we as a society allow this to continue? We are daily witnessing the devastating effects communities are still suffering, like 6B pipeline that ruptured into the Kalamazoo River of June 26, 2010, and they're still trying to clean that up. We know that it's not a matter if a 38-year-old pipeline will burst, it's a matter of when. In our First Nations communities, we continue to witness this colonial government's violation of our treaty agreement. This government has passed laws and bills to cater to corporate extraction.
Now, before Harper passed all of his omnibus bills, an environmental assessment would have been mandatory for a project of the scope of Line 9. But he has been deregulating and changing all the laws to make it extremely easy to build all sorts of infrastructure so that they can exploit an area the size of Florida in Alberta, the home to the native Cree and Chippewayan people, and turn that area into a sacrifice zone. This pipeline is actually completely unsafe. 90% chance of rupture in the first 5 years, and this is by pipeline experts. These are guys that have worked for ARCO for decades that are giving these sorts of numbers. It's a 40-year-old pipeline, more or less, like 39 years, and it's filled with cracks, and Enbridge's inline inspection systems don't even have the ability to detect all the cracks. It had about a 20% margin of error.
I'm going to talk for just a minute about a fellow by the name of Stephen Harper. We have to change all of our environmental laws in order to be able to get these pipelines through, in order to get those tar sands mines approved. So he has. He needs to remove public participation from these processes. Because once people participate and start saying no, he has a problem. So what do we say? No! He can rewrite those laws. And he has, because he's still Prime Minister for now. He can't rewrite the Constitution. He cannot remove the constitutional obligation to respect treaty rights, though he's trying.
I agree with much of the discussion about, green jobs and talking about specifically about the Harper government and its policies. But I do want to say that it goes a bit deeper than that. There's a systemic issue at play. So just in considering the fact that we have a social system that requires continuous economic expansion to sustain itself, that's something that's not environmentally sustainable. That's the problem. So, I mean, in the end, that's where we have to take the conversation, and that's where we have to take our activism to, if we're serious about Line 9, about climate change and the tar sands.